Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about bathrooms and wet baths in particular. See, I was reading on the forum recently and it sounds like there are people that don't use their bathrooms. And I thought that was interesting considering we use our bathroom all the time. We're actually full-timers and this is most of the time, this is the bathroom we have. We don't have other bathrooms that we can use. So I thought it was kind of interesting, and some of the comments seem to surround sort of fear, maybe a little bit of unknowing, or maybe they just didn't like using the bathroom. I figured since we paid for it, we might as well use it, right? And this is our home, so it's a lot more comfortable as such. But to give you a quick tour, see, the escape bathrooms are all wet baths, which means that, of course, you can use your shower head, you can wash your hands in the sink, and of course you can use the bathroom. It's all within one area that can all get wet. We have a curtain that we can pull across, and fun fact, there are little hooks on these that you can buy any curtain, cut it in about half usually, and then you can hang them up just as well. Everything's designed to get wet. Your toilet paper holder will make sure that the water goes around, and it's a compact space, but it works pretty dang well for us. Now, one of the concerns that I've heard is that basically your feet get wet if you're in here. And I found that it can be an issue if you're right after a shower and you haven't run the fan and completely cleaned it out yet. But we actually took a shower about 15 minutes ago and most of the walls are already dry. I turned the fan off for this video here, but the little fan that's in here will go and exhaust all of the moisture out. And just give it, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 minutes usually, and you're all but set. But if somebody else has to use a restroom right after somebody has showered, instead of getting soggy socks, maybe put on a pair of Crocs. That's what we do. Or flip-flops will do just as well. In order to expedite the process of drying, we can use something like this. Now, there was a handle attached to this, but we figured it was just a little bit easier to have it without the handle. But much like a wiper blade on a car, of course, we can go ahead and take this and then we can squeegee on down. It does pretty dang well. But we also have, this is a little rubber, they're kind of like rubber fingers basically, but it can actually help not only with carpet and getting dog fur up from carpet if you had that, but it also, even in here, if there's dog fur, inevitably you're gonna track some dog fur in. And dog fur might be the most annoying issue that we have here. So this is one tool that we used, but this guy is the other. So this little doodad is a little piece of plastic, and there are basically little spikes that go out, kind of like a tree. And what you can do is you can pop this in any drain, but we're gonna use it in ours. We can go ahead and run it down our little drain here, but as we pull it back up, it'll go ahead and bring that dog fur up with it, clumps and things like that, because occasionally you'll get a little bit of backup or it'll just drain a little bit slower. But my wife's hair also makes it down the drain. I don't really have that issue, but if you do, and that's going down there, this will help you. So just go ahead and run it in and out, back and forth a few times, and they last a good while. But this is a very long snake. But it really, it doesn't take hardly any force at all. Really, you can be pretty gentle with it, and you only have to use a tiny little bit, right? Because there's an elbow right below here. So this, I mean, for a couple bucks, like this is fantastic. Now we also keep our soap in here and our toothbrush and toothpaste. And you might ask, well, like if you're using the bathroom, is this unsanitary? My argument for that is actually it's more sanitary. Here's why. One, everything's sealed off, right? If this was unsanitary, we wouldn't be able to make wet baths like this. Honestly, it's really not great, right? Everything goes into one tank, the gray water goes into another. It's really not a big deal. There's seals around your toilet. But if you have an issue, of course, you can rinse everything off. And what I found is that it's a lot more sanitary in that respect, because it's so much easier to clean things and just rinse everything off after you go ahead and shower. Now our toothbrushes, we went ahead and put a little container. We put some holes in the container so it can drain, so we don't have any issues with that. But it holds everything. We put it up there with alien tape. It has not come undone, which is awesome. And then the storage that we have right behind me, behind this cabinet, is fantastic. I mean, we have our shampoos, our soaps, miscellaneous little things here and there. And the beauty of it is that because I added a little strip of plastic and then kind of molded it in there, and then again, alien tape to stick it on the sides, then now when we open the cabinet up, things don't come flying out at us, which is kind of nice. So, but I will say that when we're brushing our teeth, we actually use our kitchen sink more often, just because it's a little bit easier to move around. So two people brushing their teeth at once, not gonna really work in here quite as well as it does out there, but it's 1 or 2 steps away and we're at the kitchen sink anyways. Now, some folks will also use composting toilets. And so composting toilets actually an option on this unit. And we did not opt for it, but we've used composting toilets in the past, and they're fantastic because you use a lot less water. So for folks like us who boondock, it's a really great option. And just the same, right? The water will just go around. You take care of the compost, intermittently as you need to. Now there are folks that for one reason or another, they're afraid to use their black tank. They're afraid to have to deal with that. And I will say, I mean, you just hook up a hose and you don't touch it. It's not like you interact with it at all. It's very straightforward stuff. I mean, it's one of those things you already have to, dump your gray tank, so you really don't have to worry about it. Now, I will say a lot of folks are worried about like what toilet paper to use and this and that. Here's the thing, the toilet paper that we're using, it's never going to fully break down. And why is that? Because it's not a septic system. This is a very temporary holding tank. We use regular, Charmin or what have you, regular stuff. This is not RV specific toilet paper. And frankly, the thinner stuff, you're just using more of it anyways, right? And a lot of folks might say you need to use, a toilet tank cleaner, and to each their own, of course. There's nothing wrong with using an RV black tank treatment, something like that. But over 10 years of having various types of toilets and black tank systems and all of this, we have found that there are certain times, especially during the summer, and it's the gray water actually that smells worse because of the soaps and the food that gets in there. The black tank is really not the primary issue by any means, and so you can use the cleaners if you want, or the tank treatments if you want. Really, we have found that either way, it doesn't make too much of a difference for us. Of course, everybody has their own opinion on that. There are different experiences, and I will say that especially in the gray tank, we will use the Geo method in our gray tanks. It works wonders on that gray water, but for the black water, it doesn't really make a difference at all. So we really haven't needed it, and wouldn't necessarily recommend it unless you just happen to want to. So for those that are kind of on the fence as to whether or not that you should use their bathroom, I would say 100% at least give it a shot. There's really nothing to it. Go ahead and use your toilet like a normal toilet. The only real difference is I go ahead and just maybe put a little bit more water in afterwards. More water is never a bad thing. Dilution is a solution to pollution, as they say. And then go ahead and you can just use your shower, right? Rinse off, soap up, rinse off again, and then go ahead and maybe afterwards, go ahead and spray everything down, and then lift that toilet seat lid afterwards, just to make sure that you don't have a huge puddle of water there, and then use that fan. The fan is the most important thing for exhausting the moisture, but other than that, there's really nothing to it. And for those on the fence about a wet bath, whether it's worse or better than a dry bath or what have you, what I will say is that this room only takes up so much space. And the beauty of it is that especially in a lighter weight, smaller trailer, you don't really need much room for something that you maybe use 5-10 minutes a day. When you're potentially, say you're stuck inside, you kind of want more room to move about and you want more space. And so it's a really it's a compact option. It's a really well designed option, I would say. So after a year of using this trailer, I'd say 2 thumbs up. It's no worse for the wear by any means. It's super simple, easy to keep clean, easy to use. It's not too little space. It's also not too much space, and I certainly recommend it. Hopefully this helps you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.